Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 greatest wrestling returns. For this list, we're going to be looking at the most memorable instances where stars of the wrestling world made a triumphant return to the industry. What wrestling comeback do you think packed the biggest punch? Let us know in those comments below. Number 10, Shane McMahon. Here comes the money. In February of 2016, it had been nearly 10 years since Shane McMahon was seen in a WWE ring. So when the prodigal son appeared practically out of nowhere on an episode of Monday Night Raw, it was a pretty big deal. The audience's reaction to Shane's music blaring was truly something to behold. Confronting his father Vince and sister Stephanie, Shane stepped right back into the fold in a major way. The segment basically served as one big welcome back party for Shane O'Mac, and the WWE Universe couldn't have been happier to see him dance down the aisle again. What a sight. Number 9, John Cena. It's always a feel-good moment when a fan favorite wrestler makes a return from injury. For the performer, there's a real satisfaction in coming back from an unfortunate and sometimes career-threatening situation. John Cena has experienced this feeling a couple of times during his career, but it was his surprise entry into the 2008 Royal Rumble that ranks among the best. The You Can't See Me athlete had torn his pectoral muscle during a match with Mr. Kennedy just 3 months prior. Talk about superhuman recovery time. And Big Match John looked great out there, eliminating competitors and staring down Triple H as if nothing had ever happened. We see you, John Cena. Number 8, Goldberg. Was Goldberg's 2016 return to the WWE carefully telegraphed to coincide with pre-order announcements for the company's WWE 2K17 video game? Well, probably, but that didn't diminish the impact of his comeback match. Goldberg and Brock Lesnar had been teasing this rematch via some back and forth online discourse for a while. And when Big Bill finally made his way back to the WWE ring for the first time since 2004, it did not disappoint. Goldberg came out to his classic entrance music, complete with that long dramatic walk from the locker room. Oh, and about the subsequent squash match between Lesnar and Goldberg at Survivor Series, perfection. Number 7, Edge. It's perhaps the most unexpected return yet, while also being the most joyous. Edge's diagnosis of cervical spinal stenosis and subsequent retirement didn't leave a dry eye in the house when the superstar announced his plans to hang up his tights. But that's what made the Rated R superstar's dazzling return at the 2020 Royal Rumble so damn special. The crowd was legitimately beyond shocked, not to mention over the moon, at the sight of their idol back in action. And for his part, Edge seemed equally excited. And this wasn't just a one and done either, as the Ultimate Opportunist still competes to this very day. Number 6, the Hardy Boys. They say that anything can happen at WrestleMania, and that's because it usually does. Case in point, the Hardy Boys' shocking return to the WWE at WrestleMania 33. Jeff and Matt had been doing some great work over at Impact Wrestling, with a number of viral vignettes and matches that truly captured the imaginations of the wrestling community at large. But there's nothing quite like going back home again. When the brothers made their WWE comeback, the mammoth crowd was absolutely there for it, riding a wave of nostalgia in the process. Plus, Matt and Jeff were returning for a tag team ladder match, a match type the Hardys helped redefine years earlier. Talk about a perfect fit. Number 5, Chris Jericho. There are a few WWE debuts as memorable as Chris Jericho's infamous Countdown to the Millennium segment in 1999. There are also few pro wrestlers who are better at reinventing themselves than the Ayatollah of rock and roller. Look no further than the second coming of Chris Jericho in 2007. Ditching the Y2J theme of the past, Jericho returned to break the code and interrupted Randy Orton on an episode of Monday Night Raw. Now we're fairly certain that Chris Jericho can basically do whatever he wants at this point in his career, and it'll be great, but this will always be one of the Demo God's top moments. No one breaks the walls down better than Jericho. Number 4, Triple H. Triple H suffered a horrific injury on the May 21st, 2001 episode of Monday Night Raw, a quad tear that could have easily put the King of Kings on the shelf for good. Fast forward over 8 months later, and Triple H returned to a deafening pop at the WWE's spiritual home, Madison Square Garden. What followed was perhaps the best run of Trips' career. The fans were 100% invested in H's comeback story, cheering him every step of the way. The fact that Triple H returned looking like an absolute beast left no doubt in anyone's mind that the game was back. Number 3, Brock Lesnar. Both Bill Goldberg and Brock Lesnar left the WWE under, shall we say, acrimonious circumstances in 2004. There were some serious sour grapes during their WrestleMania match, with both men being booed out the building by a crowd that was smart to their impending departure. All seemed to be forgiven for Brock Lesnar in 2012, however, when he returned to take out John Cena with a destructive F5. The crowd, who had largely soured on Cena's show up and win routine at this point, were all too happy to cheer for Lesnar. The audience reaction would get a bit more split later on though, as Brock took aim at their hero, The Undertaker. If anyone was gonna end the dead man's legendary WrestleMania streak, you best believe it was gonna be Brock Lesnar. Number 2, The Rock. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson certainly wasn't the first professional wrestler to try his hand at acting, but he is by far the most successful. This initially didn't sit well with the WWE audience, setting up Johnson's heel turn in the early 2000s. This, of course, was right before The Rock headed to Hollywood, leaving the ring behind. Skip to 2011, and Johnson was back, setting up a feud with John Cena for a major marquee match. The electrical sound effects that signaled The Rock's appearance mimicked the electricity in the crowd as Johnson hit the stage to deafening applause. It was a truly special, goosebump-inducing moment. The Rock was back in the sport he loved, and no one was gonna stand in his way, not even John Cena. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, CM Punk. It's the only non-WWE moment on this list, but that's what makes this return so incredible. Yes, fans were excited to see CM Punk return to WWE programming as an on-air analyst, but what they really wanted was to see the superstar wrestle again. So when CM Punk made his return to the ring on AEW Rampage in 2021, it was a moment of sheer bliss for wrestling enthusiasts. Punk was returning to the sport he loved and at a place that loves the sport. If you want to see grown men weeping in their seats, families hugging, and friends high-fiving, then this is the one for you. Hell, this moment is for everybody. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.